Hey everyone. So as you can tell, I'm back with another work in progress video for my high grade red frame. And I know I said I probably wasn't going to bother with this, seeing as I wanted to get this kit done as soon as possible. But that was what, a month ago? Almost 2 months ago now? I figured I owed it to you guys to at least let you know that I am alive, and that I have been working on this for a while. Although don't have as much done as I'd like, and I can only really blame life itself. So anyway, I figure I'll start with what is probably the most anticipated aspect of this project, which is the chrome red. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there who are very critical of chrome painted kits. And I don't know how well my camera is really representing the effect I see in person. But I have to say that for my part, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. But I suppose I'll let you be the judge. And anyway, the way I did this was I first applied a good coat of primer to this. And instead of going through the hassle of sanding down all of my primer so that I have a smooth finish, I just went ahead and applied gloss black. But, having done so, I noticed that it was a very gritty sort of gloss black. So what I ended up doing was I just kept applying gloss black. Thin coat after thin coat after thin coat, over and over again, until I acquired a very, very, very smooth, glossy black surface. And then I allowed that to dry for a good long while. And after it had dried, I went ahead and applied the all-clad chrome, so I had a very saturated, reflective metallic finish, upon which to apply the candy red. Now this candy red is a custom mixture of two all-clad candy colors. The first is candy red, and the other is lemon yellow. And the ratio I mixed up was 4 parts red to 1 part yellow. And I did that just so that I could edge my red away from that sort of pinkish tone that it has into something of a more neutral, warm red, which you see here, hopefully. And it's still pretty close to the original red, but I do like this a bit more, and it's closer to what I was going for in the beginning. And well, anyway, after I had applied that, then I finally top coated it with a good layer of the Aqua Gloss Clear from All-Clad, which is, to my knowledge anyway, is supposed to be the best thing for top coating chrome. And overall, again, I have to say that I am rather pleased with how this has turned out. So, with that out of the way, there are a few other things that I have managed to finish. I have done most of the white pieces here in a flat white. I've done the black pieces, I guess you'd call them really dark gray. What I did was I mixed up 3 different flat colors. A flat brown, a flat dark blue, and a flat dark green. And that created this really nice, neutral, flat gray, dark gray, which I applied to the feet, the backpack, parts of the shield, the front of the torso, and the scabbard for the sword, which I'll talk more about later. But other than that, that's about all I've painted in terms of the specific colors. And now I'm on to the part of the build where I need to start doing masking, and a second set of pieces which I have to remove seam lines off of. What I'm talking about are pieces like this lower arm part. Now this has to go around the upper arm, which I have already painted here. And so what I'll have to do is apply the lower arm part around the upper part, remove the seam line from that, mask the top part here, and then go through the whole process of the chrome red again on the lower arm here. It's a tedious amount of work, but I think in the end it will be more worth it than any hassle that is involved here. And in addition, I think I am going to have to mask a few areas off on the top part of this here to paint some of these areas white. But anyway, it's kind of a pain, I'm sure, but again, I think it'll be worth it. And I also have to do that with, if I don't break it first, I have to do it with the lower legs as well. And as you'll see here, they're going to be primarily white, but I'll have to do some chrome red like on those sections there, like down here as well, and maybe up here too, just to mix things up a little. And maybe across the kit overall, I'll be doing a few other little touches and accents and things, just to add my own personal touch. Maybe make this something like a pseudo Gundam Build Fighters custom type thing, you know. Other masking I've done so far is like here on the backpack. Did that with blue tack since it's a rounded area. That works best. What else? Yes, the head. I've got the back of the head here. That's all going to be chrome red. And then I have the face here all masked off, which I'm debating what specifically I want to do with. I might leave it white, or I might do something else. But I'll figure that out when I get to it. And in addition to that, I've done like the back of the legs, which are also going to be the chrome red there. And other than that, there's a couple other little things here. I've done the midsection area, and basically all I've done is I've masked off that little square in the middle, which is going to be chrome red. Now, as you'll see here, I've been using a little bit of blue tack, a little bit of painter's tape, and a little bit of this yellow stuff. Well, that is my newest hobby product that I just picked up. This Tamiya 6mm masking tape. And man, is this stuff great. I mean, the whole thing here was like $5, the dispenser and the roll of tape, and that should last me a good long while. But this stuff it just makes masking fun because it's so easy and it's such a good product. I mean, that little area on the torso over there with that tiny square masked off is done primarily by just cutting and edging up this tape. Then the rest of it was used to sort of secure little bare spots and whatever else, but this stuff primarily did the job, and I am very impressed. I mean, it has just the right amount of tack, but it doesn't lift the paint. It's very forgiving. You can even slide it around on the piece if you're careful, if you don't line things up just perfectly. This stuff is so easy and so fun to use that it makes masking not even a chore anymore. To such a crazy extent that I've even done things like this on the shield here. This involved quite a lot of cutting and and repositioning many different pieces laid against many different angles. And this is me at my most insane. This sheath here, I've been trying to mask off all these raised sections here with a combination of blue tack and Tamiya tape, and I've been doing these panel line areas as well. And I'll have to do the rest of this stuff down here too, in some way or another. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, even this, with this kind of tape, is getting a little tedious, but I'm still glad to do it for the effect. And I'm thinking what I'll probably do with these sections that are unmasked is to do some sort of gold inlay effect, which should look pretty cool against the black here. And just so you have an idea of how well this tape works, here's an example of one part that I've already used it on. Now the first thing I did was I put on all this flat white, like on the front and back, and afterwards I used the tape on this whole edge section, and then I sprayed on my black. And that is pretty nice results. There's a tiny little mess up right there on that corner, but overall it's not bad. So yeah, very good product, and I would recommend anybody who doesn't have any to find some, because it's really worth it. But not everything has been perfect about this project. Like I say, it's been taking a long time to do, and there's been a setback. This upper arm piece, as you can tell, already has some paint on. Well, I have to redo it. And that's because, just as I had finished putting on the clear red on top of the chrome, this frickin' piece decided it was gonna knock right up against one of the other skewers and just screw the hell up right there. And I'm like, why? That was frustrating as hell. But it's not that big a deal, since I am going to have to go through the whole process over again anyway for various other pieces here and there. So whatever, I mean, it's not that big a deal, I guess. But it still pissed me off. And one last thing that I'm sort of pondering on is this katana. Now it comes coated in a nice metallic, it's almost chrome paint, but it's not quite. I mean, it's quite nice, but I do think I want to do something with it. At the bare minimum, I am going to be painting the handle here, probably just in black, and then top these sections here with maybe some of the gold paint that I'll be using, like on the sheath. And I'd also be using it on those masked off sections of the shield here. And that just leaves the blade itself. I've been doing some experiments of some kind or another, and I've been trying to come up with something unique to do with this. But I'm still not sure what that will be. But eventually you guys are going to see what it is anyway, so I hope you'll look forward to it. And anyway, I'm basically out of time now, so figure I'll cut this video here, and I hope you like what you see, and hopefully the next time I do a video of this kit, it will be finished. But I don't want to make any promises. Anyway, I guess that's all to say for now, so thank you for watching, and until the next time, catch you later, everybody.